earlier about the school project, renovation project ran late, but let's begin. One stand, please. Pledge of allegiance.
No, I almost gave one.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Thank you. Right, I have just one change on the agenda. After public comment 6A, I'd like to add Jason Morocco. I wanted to do his update then. He should have emailed everyone the details, but if I can have a motion to accept that change, that's the only one I
I'll
have.
make a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
I'll second that motion.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passes. So now 6A will be Jason Morocco's presentation and update. Did everyone review the minutes of our last meeting and the special meeting?
Yes.
Any changes?
Yeah, I have one change. On 7D, it was about the people that presented on the garden. You need to change wouldn't to would.
Okay.
So it says wouldn't be a community garden,
Would,
but it would be a community garden.
okay.
It said wouldn't.
Actually,
thought it wouldn't.
Actually,
Would it?
no, it wouldn't, it
Yeah,
would
it
not
wouldn't
be.
be.
it's a for-profit
It's a
business.
for-profit.
No, but I thought they said the community would be, so it was I just misinterpreting?
They said they would allow people into it.
That's all that
They
I thought they
wanted to be
meant.
Open anytime they weren't.
Right.
No, community, by
And they can get
community,
flowers, so
yeah, by community
They
garden.
said that the community is welcome there, so that
Yeah.
I was taking as it would be a community garden.
understandable. Yeah, they want to grow flowers.
They said people have asked to go in there and read books or, do whatever they would allow it. But it wouldn't be open.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
misinterpreted
Yeah.
that. Sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Sorry, Sherry.
But
You're good.
you actually read it, so that's good.
Yeah, and I think the other part was that when they were talking about that was the community garden, like, for example, what we have up at Rose Hill where people can go get a plot and plant.
So it wouldn't be like.
Right,
that.
they're not gonna be coming to plant. It would be,
Right.
exactly.
Sorry, my misinterpretation.
It would be open to the community, but they wouldn't be planted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
All right.
So I'm good.
Anybody else? With that said, can I have approval of those minutes, the regular and the special meeting?
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
David.
Me.
All right. Communication and correspondence. I only have one thing. You were probably correct. All right, all right.
Yeah,
All
that-
those that approved the meeting of February 18th, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes. Someone make a
I need
motion
a
to
mo-
approve the.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting, minutes for the special meeting of February 18th.
Second.
I second. Sharon.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Did we do it right? We got it right? You're very welcome. All
When
right.
Sharon's happy, we're happy.
Absolutely. All right, so communication and correspondence. Everyone here should have gotten this flyer
Yeah.
that came in the mail.
I did.
We are asking everyone to attend the workshop, scan, take the survey. We need the feedback from everyone with regards to our downtown and riverfront master plan. Get involved, let your voices be heard as to what you see built in. It ties in what we were talking about with the school. Please get involved. We should have that. This will be posted on our website if it isn't already. But we want this as much attendance as possible. In person is always better. You can interact with your neighbors and see what they like, but definitely do that. I've already taken the survey. Everyone else should as well, so. That was good. Public comment. Anybody online? This might be a quick one tonight. All right, Jason, your update, you can come on up, that would be great. Did everyone receive his update via email? You hear us?
Okay.
All right, beautiful. We're back. The wizard worked. Nice.
Okay, Jason Morocco, Director of Public Works. I sent out, yesterday or today, so much going on, I can't remember. I was asked to put together a project, kind of outline list for the board, just so that you will know what's going on, have it kind of in your back pocket. If you come across a residence, anywhere while you're out and about. First, it was thought to maybe put together a bar graph, we're showing all the projects. That's a little bit more involved. It takes a little bit more time. So what I did was I put together just a quick little spreadsheet to show you what's going on with each project. Know that it's going to be a live document. Things are going to change. I will make it a point to make sure that I send it to you all at the beginning of every month, whether or not it changed or not. So just pay attention to the revised date up top. So the first thing, High Street Water Main Phase 1, we got majority of that project done, and we did a change order work to extend that line. Birmingham came in, they did most of the main line work. They got it tested, chlorinated, tested, everything passed. Winter set in, so they didn't get a chance to switch it over to the existing line over to the new line or put any services. So they need to come back for that. I'm saying, they'll probably hopefully around May. I really haven't had that conversation with them. We're more trying to get them to come in and fix some of the sinking of the trenches that's happening up there. Phase 2, I talked to our town engineer who was saying that the design would be complete hopefully by April 1st. We would then, have a review and then go out to bid for that section. Any questions on High Street?
We're going from between Clearview and William down to Bartlett. Do we plan on paving from the High Street, William Street intersection towards Main Street on William? Because we came halfway up William Street the other way from Main.
I don't know the answer to that
Okay.
offhand. I know that we're going from the high school, whatever that paving seam was, to Williams, but I don't know if we're going up Williams.
Okay.
That's what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, so let me look into that and I'll get back to you on that. I haven't seen any type of preliminary plans or anything for Phase 2 from the town engineer.
Okay.
I asked for an update and he said he was hopefully going to get it back to me by April 1st. We're having some issues with ADA compliance with crosswalk slopes and sidewalk ramps. So we're trying to work with he's trying to work with the state to figure out what the best way to handle that is.
Yeah, those sidewalks are like 3 feet higher than the road.
Correct, correct. And the existing grades don't help us out there. Gospel Lane well, we sent out in January, we sent out the RFP. It got returned in February. Myself, Pelton, Mr. Tripp, and Tom was involved when we opened it. There was 4 consultants that it was sent to. We each of us read the 4 packets. We scored them. We have a consultant that we want to pick. I'm just not ready to announce it yet because I am talking with DPH just to finalize that paperwork, and then we will let the board know what that final decision was. With that being said, once that consultant gets picked, the yellow section that says design stage, construction complete, we will change those dates to how they project out their project to go once that gets officially awarded, and we know that that's going to be a go. The timeline is very tight. So it's going to be something that we're going to be pushing to have at least weekly or bi-weekly meetings with them to see what the progress is. And majority of those 4 consultants that we talked to were fine with that. But once it becomes public, then I'll update those.
Will you take the challenge of December 31st, 2027?
Well, I'll take December. Where do you see December?
No, it's a challenge.
Oh, will I?
Yeah. I mean, is it, you know what I mean? Kind of take that as and then kind of, if there's any overflow, because things are gonna happen, right? But by the way, Jason, very, very nice, thank you.
Well, I didn't do that.
Take
I
that-
didn't do
that
that
was the
larger
consultant.
spreadsheet. Yes.
But just, you don't have to answer, but just, as we go on.
Yeah, my ultimate goal would be for it to be complete before we have to go back to MDC, as we know, and renegotiate for that contract.
We were very clear in our conversations with all who we talked to that
Mhm.
we needed to certify by the end of 27 and we needed to be off by the mid 28.
That's just throwing a challenge. out,
Yeah.
That's all.
A challenge accepted. How about
Thank you.
that?
That's what he's waiting for.
I know he was. He wasn't gonna let it go. I tried to scoot around it. Any questions about the well? It's a very big project for the town. Very excited. There's gonna be little drips and drabs going through. But once it,
Drips, I got this.
I didn't say leaks. I said drips and drabs.
This one did not.
Going through and then, hopefully it's a smooth, go around with the consultant and then, finally, when we go out to bid and hire a contractor to do it. It's been a long time coming, kind of came in, a little bit halfway through, but looking forward to moving that through. Anybody have any questions about the new well on Gospel?
Next.
Sidewalk connectivity. So Main Street connectivity was awarded to Martin Lavero Construction out of Bristol. I've worked with them many times. They are very good. They've done sidewalks projects for me in the past, streetscape projects, drainage projects. So I met with them last week. They're looking for a minimum May start, depending on how the weather goes. They're gonna start towards the closest to 66 as possible. We already left off and work north. We also are gonna do Homestead and
Island.
Highland.
Island, yeah.
That's also part of the project. We are working with them because we do have some money left over in the grant to do some curbing on the nor would be the east side, on the Walgreens side, working towards the north to redo some curb in some of those islands that are a little either already missing curb or a little, the parking angles are a little odd. So they're supposed to get back to me on price for that. But the thought of that would be some of it would be, well, most of it would be extruded concrete curb, where they come in with a machine, they extrude the curb below grade. Then we butt up our sidewalk up against it. We'll have a joint, expansion joint, and then we'll seal it with caulk. That way all the curbing matches instead of some monolithic, some extruded curb. I just don't want it to, I want it to look appeasing to the eye.
Can I ask you one question? It's
Sure.
It's about sidewalks, but separate from that. Could you look at Waverly Avenue Extension? It's literally like one or two houses on it. Years ago when they did Freestone and East Main Street, that was forgotten about.
Yep.
And there's sidewalks on both sides of the road that are the worst in town.
Okay.
Like you can't even walk on one side of it. John and I looked at it and we were hoping to,
I used my snow blower at the last storm for them,
That's,
and I threw half the sidewalk in the road. The one at Hale's house, like,
yeah, okay.
yeah, that's,
we were talking about removing both sides and only having sidewalk on one side. So the other side would just be driveways and lawn.
Okay. Yep.
or just restore, or just put a new one in one side for starters.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I will look into that.
okay.
All right, kayak launch. We hired Burns Construction out of Portland. They started in January. They have the road all boxed out. They have the parking lot towards the river all boxed out, ready to go. They're just waiting for the snow to melt and the everything to kind of dry out and the plants to open so that they get a little bit of paving to do down at the parking lot where the handicap spot's gonna be, and a little bit more paving up towards Airline Avenue where the entrance is gonna go in. We do have one catch basin that Public Works is gonna replace. It's a regular catch basin with a throat. It's right in the driveway apron. For some reason, we kind of missed it. We need to make that a flat top, but instead of having Burns do it, we're gonna do it ourselves. just to save a little bit. So, that project is going, I see that, being complete once, once the plants open up, they want to finish it. We do have a pile of excess material that, we needed to save a little bit of money, so there's a huge pile of, excess material to the backside of where the Little League field was. I just have to figure out what to do with that. We originally had an idea for it, but it's way more material than we thought. So, I need to come up with a plan B for that.
How much material is it?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know offhand. I did have I could look it up, but we had an idea of what we were gonna do with it. But it is too much. And then we won't have anything for any future, material if we ever want to store it or get rid of it.
What's the surface of the road down to the landing? Is it just gravel?
Yeah, it's gonna be, yep.
Is it
gravel.
that material that you're using?
No,
Okay.
no, this was, so when I say excess material, when they boxed out the road and they took, let's say, the topsoil to get down
Oh,
to grade, to lower the cost of the project, we did a change order to say, we'll keep that material and we'll haul it off ourselves. But to make some of the grades, we had to go down a little deeper than we thought, just to make things a little bit nicer. So there's a little bit more material there.
Okay.
And there's a lot of, if anyone's looking for some nice flat, brownstone for any type of rock wall or maybe a pet rock, there's plenty down there. Sewer plant grant, I had to, create a few different accounts, through our federal government. I'm waiting for them to approve that, so then I can go in and start the application process. I'm gonna get assistance from, another consultant on that, so I'm just waiting for that email to say that I've been approved to be the one that's gonna input the information and, answer any questions, they may have. And then from there, we will then decide whether or not it's something that the town wants to pursue, whether or not be a grant or some type of loan through USDA. We also have, monies to redo the parking lot entrance at 24 Middlesex Avenue. It was thought that, it would happen this fall. But it just, the way that the weather turned, the contractor didn't have a chance, so we held off on that, but that same contractor is also doing, the parking lot at Middlesex Avenue and the parking lot entrance at Brownstone Avenue. Well, we're gonna widen it and make it a little bit better for buses when they're coming down, Brownstone Ave to make the right-hand turn into that park. Where now it's really tight, so we're gonna make that apron a little bit wider. It's already set up with the sidewalk to make it wider, so all we have to do is just a little bit of improvements. And then we're gonna have an island in the middle where the Brownstone Quorum is gonna put another sign to say it's Riverview Park, right?
Riverfront, yeah.
Riverfront Park. So that will make that nice and appeasing. And then the Middlesex Ave parking lot, it's gonna get redone, reboxed out, paved, handicap spots. So, and marked and painted so that if, residents or anyone are going there for any type of game, there's handicap parking.
Jason, is there any plan to repave Brownstone Avenue? That road is atrocious with all the settling and.
I heard from Ryan that there was, but I don't know how far it was. It's not something that has come up in the last few months while I've been here. I definitely agree that something needs to be done out there.
Yeah.
But I would say we probably should wait to see what other development goes on in there so that we're not doing it twice or three times.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to do is spend a bunch of money out there, get it looking really nice, and then another developer wants to come in and cut it to tie in for water or anything else, and then we have patches over the place.
It's right from Main Street. I mean,
Yep.
you've got so many cuts and
Yep.
holes where it's settled.
We did do some leveling out there this past fall.
Yeah,
We could look at doing a little bit more just to Band-Aid it for a little bit.
yeah.
But I do agree, it is cut up. The spot cut up a lot of it, and it's just a lot of it settling. I hear that's where they dump the brownstone scraps, is that?
Well, that's where they Yeah.
That's what almost that whole area is.
Yep.
Brownstone's right.
You're spoils with the
Right.
quarrying project.
Yep.
That's actually that's what made the architecture of the park itself. If you go out, if you ever walk out to the extreme north end of the park and you go up to the high view, you'll actually see the gaps in the stone and, yeah. Very interesting landscape.
Yes, yes. I've never thought that so many things would be built out of brownstone until I came to Portland.
I have one question that was in the email. I asked the last meeting. Do you have an idea of what you want your next project to be? Like big project? Because I know like sidewalks was a couple years in the making. The water main on the High Street was a couple years in the making. You're still finishing on Russell Avenue got a water main, but the pump station on Co Avenue isn't finished yet, and that's been
The pump station on Co Avenue is finished.
okay.
That's why that's not on here. We did the final punch list and that's all set. We got the as-built drawings. So yes, that was a long lengthy process, just trying to get the last few punch items done with our engineer and the contractor. Contractor's been great. There's been a little back and forth with the engineer, but that is currently done.
Okay.
I do have some extensive work to do at the reservoir dam. That's probably going to be the next priority to figure out how we're going to get that done. There's money that's been allocated for that for the last few years, and it's time to now make that happen. I know Ryan tried in the past and the number was very large, so I'm going to try again and see if I can find some other contractors or put it out to bid or some other avenue to try to get that done. But that's from my understanding, that's should have been done a long time ago.
What would you think our next water main replacement would be? Because Dave thought down in the Russell Ave area, all those roads through there, that's all the asbestos pipe that tends to break every year.
So I would agree with that. I'd have to look at it a little bit closer. To be honest, I've been focusing on what we have going on right now. I do need, once the well starts going, and then we see what happens with whatever the grant is for the sewer, or just once the well gets moving, that takes up a lot of time right now because I'm trying to push it along so it doesn't sit. Then yes, we will look at other projects of what water mains we need to replace. And even how we're even going to connect the new well. That's going to be looked at as well.
Okay.
So the project for the new well is not just constructing the well, it's also possibly a backup generator at the current well, and then changing over our chlorination from a gas system up at the chlorination plant to the same kind we have on Bartlett. So there's going to be a bunch of,
You're gonna do
things.
away with the chlorine gas?
yes,
Oh, you use hypo?
yes. So from what I understand, there was a gentleman who used to service all that stuff. He has either retired or
Yeah, he's up in
no longer
New Hampshire.
with us.
The V-notch.
Yeah, and we have some issues with them and we've band-aided them to get them
Yeah.
where they are, but we're only running one side.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess a question for the board would be, is the, spreadsheet that I put together, does that work for everyone? Is there anything you want to add to it or expand on? Moving forward, it was just what I put. I don't want to say I put it together real quick, but it was just something, it's fairly simple and it gets the board an idea of what we're doing moving forward. And then I guess, would you rather I email it to you or I get you a copy, physical copy when
No email.
Well, yeah, email is fine. but,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
you
looking
know, I
at it
guess
right here.
Maybe
No
just
physical.
Bring some copies with you.
bring a couple copies, but, maybe instead of start dates and, anticipating,
Next
the
steps?
the next steps. or,
Okay. Yeah.
Each project.
Yep.
Whether it's gonna be 1 month or 3 months or whatever.
Okay.
The only, I'm looking at the Gospel Lane well, and I made an attempt with the document that the state put out originally to see if I could simplify that.
Mhm.
And I think what you mentioned where you have highlighted here in yellow, once the design stage gets going, I anticipate you're gonna add a few more subcategories.
Yes, I didn't
Yeah.
want, I didn't want to overburden you with
Right.
tentative dates that might not mean anything at this particular time. But yes, it would be exactly what it would be, like a 50% submission, 90% submission, bid,
Right.
bid documents, DPH review, all that. We'll
Yep.
list all that.
Yeah,
which
because I
would probably-
remember on the state's document, they had in the right-hand side, they had a 90-day, a 60-day. This is when
Yes.
DPH does it. The AG's review was another one.
Mhm.
So, I anticipated you kind of bust that out a little bit more
Yes.
when you get there.
Yes,
And that's perfect for me.
okay, yes,
Uh,
do you,
24 to
Do we-
48 hours in advance, it's fine. Actually, be perfect.
Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely
Yeah.
get it before your meeting.
Jason, do you have a rough idea when we expect DPH's concurrence? Or, for a choice?
So I
Yeah, that'd be
emailed
good.
them yesterday. I have not heard back yet because I have a few questions for Sarah.
Okay,
And I had a meeting with her Monday, but it got interrupted with the situation that happened at Town Hall.
Yep.
I had to get off the call and she said, reach out and we can continue the conversation. So I reached out, but I haven't heard back. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm waiting for.
I'm just curious, because I know that we've got, our next meeting's not for 2 weeks. And I didn't know whether or not, if we get that approval, obviously, if we get it a couple days before the meeting, then we approve it at the meeting, but if we get it sooner,
Well, it's already approved. You already approved the money.
no, I'm saying, but for us to approve hiring the contractor,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Okay, because I know we were looking to vote on that tonight if we had everything, but we don't. We want to keep that moving as quick as we can, so.
Absolutely.
I think your update was good, Jason. That's the
Yeah.
kind of thing. I want to know where we stand and where the red flags might be on the horizon.
I would rather you all be informed so that the right information gets to the right people instead of the wrong
If
information.
you need somebody to rattle a cage, you got a group here that'll do it.
Absolutely. All right,
True.
Jason, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Good
it.
night.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
So before we go to the next item, budget report, I'm gonna pass something out to everyone here as well. Tom is here, pass it on. Tom is here right now, pass it on. Best these are there. Last week, as everyone knows, who go.
I was taking.
No problem. As you know, last week was the week that Tom and I needed to get the budget done. We had some incidences at the town hall.
Yeah.
That created some additional detours from our normal work. It's been quite a week, the last week or so. I was hoping to get these numbers to at least a week ahead of time. But we were focused on the budget and getting that done. We passed that in on Monday. Tom, I appreciate all your help on that stuff. Tom was not here yesterday, so he is not fully prepared to review every single thing, but he's here to answer questions. What I've done is I've gone through and done a quick summary of the numbers that you have. There was a summary sheet I gave you, summarized some of the highlights in here. So I reviewed, I kind of ran it through, checked some of the numbers, but these are the ones that I have. Please review what I've given to you as some of the highlights in this report. And then if there's any specific questions that you might have for Tom or something that you want to know that you may not be able to get today, but something that we can get back to you, let me know as well. But this summarizes not only the budget review report, but also authorized spending. So first 3 pages are the first one, but it's just a quick overtake. You'll notice some of the numbers, for example, we've collected 37 million out of the 41 million for overall revenue. We're on track on there. Major revenue drivers are, right now, property tax collection is on track. The collection rate is quite high. That stood out. The building and permit revenue continues to be strong. State education cost sharing, we're about 50%, but that falls in line with the way the state does that in terms of how they pay. So there was nothing that jumped out in terms of overall summary. And then the spending position, the second 3 pages cover some of the highlights by various departments. Just some notes on there. Again, these are general, but I wanted to at least give you something. I hadn't actually anticipated Tom being here today because he wasn't feeling well, but I wanted to, I dragged him here anyways, but I wanted to at least give you something on this. If there are more questions, I know you've just gotten this. Let me know, let Tom know, but at least I wanted to give you something as a summary of what these numbers are. But the big budget, everyone should have those numbers. I've reviewed it with 4 of you so far. We've gone over the numbers in the office. I'm hoping that's helpful. I'm trying to make sure that we go over each of the numbers, each of the departments to find areas that we can improve upon. So some of the ideas that came out during that time was, are there things that we can do together with Board of Ed? Are there certain departments that we can share together, technology or others? So there were some great ideas from the 4 that I've met so far. And I want to do more of that. The overall budget, not to dive into the big budget, we have a couple challenges ahead. We've got a referendum coming up. We have taxes we have to look at. We have an initial number that I put out where our mill rate right now, as it is right now, is an increase of 1.89. It was a little bit higher than last year where we started, and we ended up finishing up at 1. But one of the biggest drivers of that right now are the health insurance costs. So there are certain things there that we really have to work hard to try to minimize and talk about. One of the things that's been brought up about the budget as well is health insurance. Are we going to go with the existing plan? Do we consider the state? The decision was made, for example, to stay with existing because many of the employees don't want to have to do another changeover, and the pricing comparable to that should be a discussion when we start our budget negotiations. But just in general, I appreciate the feedback so far. I'm glad you guys are looking at it, and ladies are looking at these numbers. This is going to be an intense next couple of weeks to get that number as low as you can and still fulfill all the priorities that we need to do for the town. So look at the numbers. I think we have very good numbers on this board that are looking closely at all the numbers, and I hope everyone continues to do that. So
One thing I would ask, just because I know it's gonna come up, can we get a view of if we did look at healthcare via the state plan?
Mhm.
Because I believe when we talked about that, the increase would be a little bit less with the state plan. Can we get a view of what the cost would be for the state plan if we did that versus the cost for the existing plan as it is? I think that's a good number to have, because we're gonna be looking at, nickels and dimes as well, and that could be a much bigger ticket item. So we're already committed in the budget. All right, I guess I still would like to see it so we can understand it. What's that? Yeah, I'd like to, I know I'd like to see the number just because
and we do have
we
the
were
full-
talking about that, and so it's kind of odd that it's accepted, but that's all right.
we do have the full presentation that was provided to us with the amount that they cut back, the initial increase of, I think, 19.5%, and then the cut down to there. But it was a lot of debate, and there was a lot of discussion back and forth about that. And again, I think if I had to pick one of the biggest deciders was the folks that are on the insurance plan. The idea of changing over and doing another changeover after 1 year was the biggest.
It's what it costs the town in the end.
And
And it's the same insurance. I don't care what somebody thinks about changing insurance companies. They're having the same insurance. And it saved the town hundreds of thousands of dollars. That should be the factor that matters most.
And the state insurance actually would probably be an improvement in terms of the insurance, because I do not believe it's a high deductible plan the way they have now. So,
As I said the other day, if you have family with 2 or 3 young children with multiple ear infections, I'll bet you what they're paying in amoxicillin under the state plan would probably save them a few dollars on prescriptions. The state plan is good. I can vouch for that. But no, I think even if the decision's already been made, I think we need to look at it in planning for our next step.
I agree.
I think we keep getting bumped along with the current plan that we have, where they just try to keep it on the bubble. And that's got our folks paying a high deductible plan, and we're paying a lot of money for insurance, so.
So I agree. I mean, it's like, we absolutely got to look at this, and honestly, just from listening to all the conversation on this over the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, there's a little bit of not invented here. I think this is something we absolutely got to look at. A lot of towns are doing it. And I think the reasoning is, because we just, we're going to stay with what we got. Why? Well, because I think we absolutely got to look at it. I completely agree to.
Does anyone have any, in looking at either the numbers or what, any general questions for Tom? Or any?
Is this
this
how
is-
we're gonna get this? Is,
It
maybe
is-
24 to 48 hours before the details and then the executive summary?
Well,
This is way better than I wasn't expecting this.
I thought it surprised you too. So,
Well, you
but
did.
there you go. But in fairness, though, we were hoping to get it last week, but because we and listen, I have X amount of time. It's been crazy, and we had to get the budget down. And Tom and I were there late doing things to get it done. So in a case, I'll give myself a mully on this one, but I did want to give you at least a summary of what I thought would be helpful
I
too.
wasn't expecting.
You're welcome, sir.
So I don't
I
know
wanna
what
see
you're
that.
looking at, but the reports that I presented for years now
Yeah.
are reports that come from Enterprise, developed with Enterprise, with me. And they show the overages and underage of all the items. And then I've always gone through the overages and underages of where I feel that there's issues and discuss them. And I tell you the object number, I tell you the amounts, and then I discuss why there's an issue. So that's, I feel that the reports that I've been providing are very good reports, and they are informative. We do these on usually a 2 to 3 day basis from when the month end is ended, and the people post their entries into that. So in the first couple of days, my people are posting entries, so I'm trying to do a review of all the activity as well as proving all the purchase orders, making all various other journal entries. And that's why I try to get you as good of a number as I can get you. And that's why they usually are on the day of the meeting. And then I present that as I'm trying to get you the most current, accurate numbers as possible. So that's why those are there. That's why I've always done it the way that I do it. To get you sooner the numbers, you're missing a lot of the activity. So you're almost talking about the prior month. I have some people that are out, so that's why some of the things I couldn't post this month. So we're working toward that. But I mean, I just feel that I do feel that the PDF reports that we have provided for years are very good reports. They do show the over and underage of the activity. And I try to be as very specific and detailed as possible when I have the opportunity to speak on the matter. I was out yesterday, and then today there was other items that they had asked me to work on. And I wanted to get you a report so that you would have that too, that when you go over the next couple of meetings that we're going to be at, because we're going to be out numerous times in March, I wanted you to really be able to something to look at while you're looking at the numbers that are in the book. So I really wanted you to have it available to you as much as possible so that you really can go through that. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you feel better.
Mike, the only question I have, on the document you gave us, second to last page, areas worth watching going forward. Under police overtime, it says fluctuations due to staffing shortage. Now, that is just because we had folks out on
Yeah.
leave and
Yeah.
things. It's not a long-term concern.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not, no.
All right.
So,
Okay.
and again, I'm not trying to give excuses here because you guys need the numbers and everyone needs to know what's going on and be able to understand that. But you'll get it as soon as he can get that. We'll do kind of a summary of the things that stand out and then specific questions.
We don't need the summary. We were just asking to have it earlier.
Right, so you can review it afterward.
Cause then it'll say, is there any questions?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, cause I haven't read it.
Right, of course.
He does a great job of putting this together and running us through, what the red flags are. It's just by the time we take it home and review it, and then we have questions, we're on to something else and we don't ask the question.
What I would suggest on this one, because I understand, I think in this case, we'll give ourselves a small molly, but what I would do is take a look at this, bring this home, figure out what the questions you might have on there, and either reach out to me or Tom and we'll get you answers specifically.
But it's
No, I
not even,
understand.
it's not even that, because
Right.
yeah, I can get the question.
Right.
The public doesn't know the
100%.
question or the answer.
Right, and we'll need to.
That's
we'll need to
the
make sure.
point of asking it here,
Right,
so the town knows.
right.
Yeah. That's
All right.
all. That,
No.
that's why we were saying just, even if we get the day before or the morning of,
With a star.
Right,
we,
Good enough.
we can
Absolutely.
look at it, and then when Tom presents it to us,
Yeah.
hey, I have a question of this.
And you mean
Okay.
this month?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is that realistic for us? I'll help you with it to get it that Monday before the Wednesday meeting.
The executive
City.
summary was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Even if it's the day before the meeting,
Yeah.
it gives you 24 hours to look at it, that's all.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to make.
No, of course.
Yep.
But you also want to be connected with it and understand, and there are people watching that
Oh,
want to
right.
know, hey, tell me about this particular item, 100%.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. Tom, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Hope you feel better, Tom.
Yeah. Go home, please.
Go home.
All right, new business, refund of excess payments.
I'll make a motion for a refund of excess payment, Hyundai lease titling trust. $310.25.
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Jim, send. All those opposed? Abstention, motion passes. All right, number 9, old business, active ongoing business and town projects. We added the ongoing discussion in school facility. I think we've talked that out from our last meeting. Okay, good. Thank you. Appointments or reappointments to boards and commissions. Do we have any?
I don't know if
I do.
Please.
We have Sarah Kopak, Kopac, to nominate as an alternate on the committee of Solidarity Committee. Alternate.
Solidarity.
I'll second that.
All right, Jim seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Welcome, Sarah. All right. Just a few quick updates in here. I know Jason's already covered most of this. Regarding Nordic Spa and the Brainerd Place, the only comment, those projects are moving forward. They're on target. I will get to all of the board the numbers tomorrow on the anticipated revenue that they should generate as the last piece for these school projects. So that, but beside that, the projects are rolling forward. And there's going to be some additional revenue from there that Rich realized based on the personal property and the business planning. So he is updating the numbers. It'll reflect and be helpful for the project, but I will have that tomorrow morning. I will send that to all of you along with whatever date that you have. I'll send that to you as well, so you can plug that into yours, and we will have all the final numbers on that. So
And I'd hate to sound silly, but you'll also provide that to Dr. Britton,
Of
because he needs to put that in
Of
his
course.
stuff too.
he'll probably get it before anybody else.
Okay.
Mike, I just have one question for Brainerd Place.
Yes.
Do you know, or have we been told yet when they plan on starting on the next 3 buildings?
The last, the big one, the assistant
Well,
living
either
building?
that or the 2 retail ones on the corner? Because
Yeah.
we've been told
Right.
of places that are coming in,
Right.
but they
Yeah.
need a building to go into.
I was gonna say, I think building B is
Building
almost
B.
next, right?
So
Yeah.
what I'll do, I will bring the next time, but the last from a couple months ago was they wanted to put the footprint down for the assisted living building
Yep.
this summer. The other 2 buildings they were targeting for early summer. So they were looking at all 3 buildings this year.
Huh.
They're still targeting end of 28 to have everything done. So they're being pretty aggressive about that. And it'll be a longer build out for the assisted living with the restaurant on top as well. So that was the plan. The last time I talked to Dan, Dan Bertram was maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and there hadn't been any changes on that so far.
Okay.
So, he does have a CO for the top 2 floors for the second building. He's looking at getting the CO for the bottom 2 floors, at the end of this month. is what he's
Has he
targeting,
met
so.
all the conditions in the contract to get that, in the
What's it?
agreement?
He's working on that. He has his punch list. And I tell you, Ray and the gang, they're making sure that he follows that, because he has to do some renovation to the historic building as well and get that going.
Yeah, I know, I think he had to weather tight it. I think
Yes,
he had to make
yeah.
sure everything was weather tighted and.
Yep. Yep.
So,
So he's fully aware of that, and he's working on that. Our inspectors aren't gonna let him have that unless he follows what the rules are right now for that, so.
yeah, that's important, especially because I think the next sequencing is the B, which gives us the majority of the commercial we're gonna get, has to come online before we can get a CO for A, right? So there's some, we want to make sure we're holding the sequencing so that we can enforce it later as well.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So, all the other projects on here, Jason already did updates, so I'm good. That's all I have. Status and committee reports. I'll start from my right this time instead of on the left. Big on this side.
I have nothing updated.
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
All right.
We're gonna have
John,
meetings soon.
the John and Jim.
My Board of Education meeting was postponed due to weather. It's tomorrow night. but I do have my library board that I went to on February 19th. Looking at my notes real quick. They've, I believe, submitted an application for a summer enrichment grant, which I think is really cool. It all ties in with the 250 celebration. They talk a little bit about the town's operating budget and the budget session that's coming up. We had an update from our secretary there, who is also the 250 committee member. And the Friends of the Portland Library have a no February meeting. That's about what I've got.
But Mr.
Yeah,
Cliff,
Water and Sewer and Parks and Rec have not met since our last meeting. That is next week. The only thing I'll say from the water perspective is we did have the meetings with folks that submitted for the RFP. Those were good meetings. So it was good to meet with folks. We made sure they understood the timeline. And I think important to this body is that one of the things we said we wanted to make sure of is that we were getting regular monthly reports that this body would be ensuring that we would be getting the updates that we want to get. So that's probably leave it there.
okay. Excellent. Excellent. Right, public comment. I think I saw Elwin waiting online before, but is anyone online? Oh, please.
Just a quick question, a quick comment really is, I actually know somebody that was in the first building being replaced. They've already moved to the second building.
Yes.
So how can that happen if they don't have a CO?
Top two floors.
Top two floors.
Top two
But why
floors.
would we allow that if the rules are that they've got to get the CO, if they got to do the other buildings before the CO?
They can do a temporary CO of a portion of it and still conform to that. That's what our inspectors have told us.
My opinion, and I think a lot of people share this, is we're not holding this finger to the fire on this thing.
Thank you.
No video, got no sound.
Down there on the left-hand corner of the screen. All the way to the left.
Let's see, he's working on the sound here.
Somebody tripped on a wire.
When they both start video, you cannot start your video. It is disabled by the host. Having audio issues, but you may speak. We can hear you. No, we're not going to do it. Go ahead.
Okay, now somebody used to be able to take.
All right. Got it.
Elwin, go ahead.
Elwin, can you hear us?
Yeah, finally.
We've been here, we've been listening in on you for the last couple of minutes.
I just want to point out that we've got two planning efforts going on in town here, and everyone in town has, I think, already received this gigantic postcard that has QR codes on it that's for the Plan of Conservation and Development on one side, and on the other side, it has the master plan for the riverfront and downtown. I've argued that I found that confusing to have everything on it, that people won't recognize that they're two different planning efforts on the same card, but in any event, it needs publicity, and I hope that you'll take attention to the town's website so that citizens can just go to the homepage and find a link that they can just click on that will allow them to engage both of the surveys. Right now, you can do the plan of conservation survey on the town's homepage website, on the banner. But when you go to the master plan for downtown and riverfront, it will not allow you to go to their survey. So something needs to get fixed there so that they can have a link where you can just click at that point. People are going to lose that single card that they got in the mail. And without that, they won't be able to access the surveys, and the surveys are going to be important. That's it. That's what I wanted to say.
All right.
Thanks, Ellen.
Ellen, thank you very much.
Yep.
We'll put the tech team on it here. They'll figure it out.
I agree with him, though. That is confusing because I got that in my mail. I mean, and I obviously was gonna do it, but it is confusing on that they're two different things.
Right.
One from column A, one from column B.
Right. The survey, attend a workshop, take another survey. So, yeah.
Well, it's for the POCD and the
Right,
master
yep.
plan, so two different things.
All right.
All right. Any general informal discussion?
I have one item.
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you publicly to our Public Works.
Mhm.
We've had a tough couple of weeks with some nasty weather. They've had some long hours. And, you know, by and large, our roads were in really, really good shape. So,
Pretty darn good.
yeah, so it's just thanks to them
Yep.
and for all they did during this period.
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree. And happened to fall on the weekends too.
Yeah.
You know, on their time off normally, and they were out there hustling and getting it done.
Yeah, and you could hear them in all
hours.
time of night, and you could just, they were doing a good job.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I gotta give a shout out to Jason also. He's been here for a little while now. He's gotten his feet wet and he's done a real good job. He's staying on top of
Yeah.
things. I did talk to Rhino Halpern earlier today as well. He had, for those of you that kept in touch with him, he had a little child a couple days ago.
Oh, good for him.
So he was, when I called him, he had his baby sleeping on his chest. He still picked up the phone and I told him he makes terrible decisions. He should not have picked up to talk to me, but yeah, they have a baby in the family, so he's excited. But he said he wanted to make sure I said hello to everybody. So we still reach out to him every now and then, get his feedback and stuff. So I think that's great. Nothing else, follow-up items, ethic ordinance, nothing going on with that now.
So is there work going on behind the scenes? So it's gonna come back to us?
There is not, we need to. So we'll go to the second one, town charter. We'll be forming a committee once we do referendum and budget and all that kind of stuff.
No, that
will
makes
be
sense,
set up.
right? 'Cause
That
then
one's gonna
it-
happen.
timeline with that.
That's
Right.
a summer project.
That's our summer project or whatever, so.
The ethics discussion, right? We kind of left it
Yeah.
as Andrew and I, we kind of said, you know, someone else has got to look at it. and-
That was being reviewed by the town attorney.
Right.
Right.
It's
No-
getting
nothing-
closer to come, no,
We're not.
Okay.
There's been other projects that have taken the time, so we haven't, but I have a meeting with the town attorney tomorrow about a couple other issues involving the gentleman that came to the town hall. So it's on my list with her.
Okay.
So we'll follow up on that. We do need to do that. There's been some questions raised about ethics, and I think we need to relook at that anyway.
and any progress since the last meeting on our land lease policy?
So we have a sample of Middletown.
Yeah.
What they did,
Okay.
and we pulled a couple others from towns farther away. It's more common than I thought, the whole bidding process, and it's usually smaller farming towns. Columbia has a program that they do. So, within our next meeting and probably before, we'll have a couple sample ones. I'll share it with everyone between the meetings.
That makes
But,
sense. Why
I
reinvent the wheel?
I like that idea. We can modify. Dan Beret is looking into it also.
Okay.
So he's investigated, but that meeting I thought was really positive and they came with a solution to doing that. And I thought that solution, bidding on it and opening up for everyone, it doesn't do favoritism and it solves the problem and it gets a property used that now isn't used. So it improves it. So yeah, I think that's a really good thing. So
And-
with that, we are at the adjourned meeting stage.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion passes 8:30.
Dominoes.
There you go.
I lost a bet at that. We're going to 9 o'clock tonight.
Nope.
You know, we started a half hour late.
Yeah, we started a half hour late, yeah.